Hello everybody, January 13th, 2023, Friday the 13th, and we had some crazy action this week in Bitcoin. And I have to say I am surprised. It does happen that my primary scenario and even my secondary scenario fail to play out. As far as my trade profitability goes, ran the numbers, and last year I lost about 20% of the trades I took. I mean, that's part of trading. It is what it is. Now, that being said, losing 20% is pretty fantastic. So I'm just going to toot my own horn there a little bit, but it does mean that 20% of the time I'm wrong. It happens, right? And it tends to happen around trend changes, right? We obviously are sort of getting some sort of trend change here. Now the proof is not completely in for the bulls to say that the bottom is in. We still have some work to do, but this move has been certainly surprising to the upside. So anyway, let's go over what I said on Monday was that it's very possible the top was finally in. We were really overbought, and it looked like I was beginning to turn down, and potentially we saw a top of some sort. I didn't even bother mentioning the bullish scenario in my write-up here, but I did mention it in the video itself. So that was kind of the third most likely scenario, was that we were actually going into the bullish scenario in blue here. So anyway, let's go over this. I was looking at this being our 5 waves down, this being a second wave here into this danger zone, and then heading downwards to that 12 to 14. That seemed like the most likely, even up until kind of middle of this week, around Wednesday. That still seemed most likely. And it's unfortunate for the bullish case that we still don't have any clear structure within this. That is the unfortunate thing here, even for the bulls. So we have to remain a little skeptical. My secondary scenario was potentially a move even as high as 20,150 at the 1236. This could have been a larger A, B, C, even up to that level. Now, getting beyond that to where we are now, it doesn't completely eradicate that possibility that maybe that's top and we still head down. It is possible, but getting beyond the 1236 usually means that we are actually in a third wave instead of a C wave, like a real honest to goodness third wave. And so for now, that is how I have to operate under that assumption that that's our third wave right there. Now, because we have that extra information, we have some parameters that we can use going forward, which is great. So those parameters, first off, let's see. I'm going to get rid of some of this on here just to clean it up a little bit. I'll leave that danger zone on there, the major one anyway. And obviously it pushed through it. Let's get rid of that. Okay. So I think I'm gonna leave it blue for now. This as our wave 1, this as our wave 2, because I'm still not completely convinced by it. To turn it into yellow, which I kind of use for my primary analysis, but so I'll keep it blue for now, and that'll remain as my working theory until we have more information. All right, so 1, 2, 3. What we need to see, ideally, you would see a third wave actually go right here where it is right now, 1382 to 1618. Now, that doesn't mean we can't go higher. Third waves can certainly extend. We might see it extend up, even to the 20 or even higher. It's unclear, right? But once this tops out, which it will come down in a fourth wave. And if it tops out right about here, the typical fourth wave zone that we would be targeting is somewhere in this region of 764 to the 10. So even though the action within this is unclear, right? We maybe have best case, that's a diagonal right there. And then our second wave is really weird because it's not really 3 waves, so weird second wave. And then this third wave, the structure within it is really not clear either. I can't see where the 5 waves are, but again, that's why I'm being a little bit more cautious here rather than just declaring the bottom is in, because of how unclear all of that action has been. But so moving forward, what we're going to see, at some point, this is going to pull back. I mean, there's no way around that. Things don't go up forever. So we are going to get a pullback. Okay? The key for this pullback is to stay above the 618. It has to absolutely, no question about it, has to stay above 18,100. If it does not do that, then this is a failure, right? If this comes down and goes below 18,100, this is not an impulse, not in any way, shape, or form, right? Even if we can forgive the messy action in here, it has to stay above 18.1 to be an impulse. Now, could that be forming a larger diagonal? I suppose. It can certainly be very, very choppy, but the danger, if it goes below 18.1, the danger is extremely high that it would fail and head down lower, because right now, even though it's extended, all we have is 3 waves. So unless we get a 4 and a 5, we can't be confident that the bottom is in. Can't really be confident the bottom is in. So this may provide an opportunity to scalp, right? Because whenever this pulls back, we can get a target for that 4th wave, potentially right around that maybe 19K area. And we might be able to scalp that up to about 23. That'd be a great little scalp there. And then once that's in place, that'll be our 5 waves off the low. And the real buying opportunity then is the pullback after that, which again is probably going to come back down to that 19K area, somewhere in there. Now, again, that'll kind of change, that math changes if we continue extending in this 3rd wave. But for now, that's kind of what I'm looking at. So, you during the bear market or the moves like this that are really, really choppy, it is always best to just kind of sit and wait for more information. I'm not trying to aggressively trade this at all right now. I want it to do more so that I can say, okay, yes, this is a high quality trade, right? So for now, I'm just sitting. I'm still sitting in cash. I have all my cash that I've been accumulating with scalp trading and little swings along the way down, basically. If you've been following me for a while, where I've gotten in and gotten out. I've actually increased my portfolio pretty significantly just in the past 6 months or so, even during that bear market, because I was willing to get out when things started breaking down and started failing. And so this time I missed it. I missed this move up, right? But if we are actually going into the next major bull move, this initial 5 waves is just the first wave, right? If that's true, that we are going into a new bull run, this is just the first wave of that. Meaning, the real money is to be made after that 2nd wave and then 3rd wave up. And depending on how this shapes up, even that might be just the first wave of an even larger move. We'll have to see. Now, in the larger sense, I have gone over this a couple times. We did break that 15.7 line, which it does. It breaks the impulsive move on the larger chart. And so that makes me very skeptical as well. So all of that being said, it just means that going forward, I'm not willing to just kind of say, I'm putting my money in Bitcoin and I'm sitting on it long term. I'm not willing to do that this time around with that breaking. It means I'm going to be much more quick to go to cash in the future if things do not look right. Meaning, if I decide to buy down here during a pullback and we break down below that level, I'm out. I'm back to cash. I'm not holding on, right? Or if we go up all 5 waves and then start coming down, but we start breaking down key levels and we make 5 waves down instead of 3, I'm out. I'm back to cash, right? So because of all of these kind of warning signs that we've had, as far as the larger picture goes, I'm going to be a lot more skeptical of this bull run going forward. And it is certainly possible that all of this just makes a larger corrective pattern, maybe gets us back up to 30K, and then we head back down. I mean, that's always a possibility. This could fail at any point. So basically, we just need to remain vigilant as we go forward and make sure that we are kind of taking it day by day, week by week, to make those decisions about our portfolios, to make sure we're not losing money, just not blindly trusting that Bitcoin is going to go up, basically, because that larger chart is a mess at this point. So just going to look at this lower time frame action, basically, and use that to guide us going forward. I don't think I really have anything much else to say. I mean, indicators at this point are completely overbought on every time frame, essentially, which should indicate, top at some point. But when we actually do go into a bull market, we see that a lot. We see those indicators just stay overbought, and essentially it's meaningless. When we have a bull run happening, indicators are meaningless. I mean, look at this 12-hour. It's up at 95. That's ridiculous on the RSI. Now it can stay up there, as I said, if we're in an actual bull market. Even during this like fourth and fifth, if we get it, we may just see this kind of come down and then double top. And that might be the end of our first wave there. Then we get the larger degree move down. We'll have to wait and see. But this is absolutely crazy as far as indicators, and you really can't rely on indicators when big moves like this happen. So just keep that as a thought in the back of your mind, that just because all of this is overbought does not mean we are on the brink of a pullback necessarily, although one is due at any point now. So I'm not trying to short this. I was trying to short it down here, but I stopped that at 18,150. That was the plan. So minimal loss there, and obviously that was a good stop because we're significantly higher from there. So it's not about being right 100% of the time. It's about risk management and being right more than you're wrong. Or if you have good risk management, you can be right and wrong equal amounts and still make money. So really, it's about the risk management. All right, everybody. I think that's all I've got. So key level to watch, 18,100. Let's make sure to keep an eye on that going forward. We'll see if this next pullback, whenever it occurs, takes the shape of 3 waves. If so, we should be good for a scalp long. And then after that, assuming we get that 5th wave up, it may be time to go all the way back in to crypto, which is really exciting. There's a lot more money to be made in a bull market, so I'm pleased with this. I'm shocked by it, but I'm pleased with it because you can make a lot more money in a bull market than you can in a bear. So hopefully this actually continues to play out. All right, everybody, have a good weekend. I'll talk to you on Monday.